Welcome back to another Downtown Report. This week, a little bit of news on our local rental market. In a recent report conducted by HFO Investment Real Estate, the Clark County market was at 3.7% vacancy for multifamily homes. That is one of the tightest rental markets on the West Coast, let alone local in the Portland metro area. Now, the interesting thing is that the urban submarket, which is basically downtown Vancouver, where folks are in larger multifamily projects that are mid-rise and high-rise buildings, this submarket was at 6.6%. But here's the crazy part. Even though the vacancy rate was still higher, and 6.6 is still a healthy vacancy rate, in the previous 12 months, Vancouver delivered 842 units to the urban core and absorbed 905. The only reason that vacancy rate was higher than Clark County is because new units have been pouring into downtown Vancouver. And anytime a new building opens up, especially these larger projects with 200, 250, sometimes even 300 units, well, that's a big flood of units into a relatively compact space. So don't be fooled by the 6.6% vacancy rate. Vancouver's market is absorbing more than they can build. And I would think that we would see some of these stalled projects, and I suspect they're stalled on financing, to get started because the market clearly wants the units. The urban core is absorbing more units than it's producing. That's usually a good sign. Now, the cost of money is a little high right now, and I suspect that is why we're not seeing some of the really big projects like the 16-story Modera Vancouver project scheduled for Block 21, and maybe even the Lincoln project, the 12-story tower. It might just be a financing thing. You know, just a percentage point in finance rate can make the difference between a project being viable and a project being economically unfeasible. Even though some of these bigger, more exciting projects are still in a holding pattern, it's real exciting news for downtown Vancouver, being among the tightest rental markets in the Pacific Northwest. People want to be here, and they're coming faster than we can build units for them. And generally speaking, that's a good problem to have. Well, that's all I've got for this week's Downtown Report. Of course, we'll be back next week with another Downtown Report. And in the meantime, could you hit that like and subscribe button down there? It does help this real estate channel grow, and I really appreciate it. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss the next video. We'll see you next week.